everyone, welcome back. Today's Ask a Consul is about one of our most popular subjects, student visas. I'm happy to welcome Hunter today from our non-immigrant visa section to answer some of your most frequently asked questions. Hunter, welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Bintu, and chào các bạn, everyone. I'm one of the consular officers managing student visa applications here at the consulate. So if you're applying to study abroad or for exchange program in the US, I or one of my colleagues would probably interview you.
Let's jump right into some of these questions. Let's say I'm a student from Vietnam and I've been accepted to study at a school in the United States. What do I do next?
First, congratulations. You should get your I-20 form from the school that you plan on studying. And then next, you should go to fmjfee.com to pay your I-901 fee, which is also called the SEVIS fee. You're going to need your I-20 form and the SEVIS fee payment in order to be eligible for a visa. After you have those, you should go to ustraveldocs.com or the consulate website to complete the DS-160 application form.
Should I complete the DS-160 by myself or pay a visa agent to do it for me?
Well, definitely doing it yourself. Doing the DS-160 is easier than ever. We recently posted a Vietnamese language video guide on the DS-160 on the consulate's YouTube page. I recommend watching it as you complete yours, as it will take you step by step on the DS-160 form. By completing your own DS-160, you'll know exactly what's on the form, and you'll reduce the risk that your DS-160 has incorrect information. Providing incorrect information makes it less likely that you'll receive a visa, since it makes us doubt your honesty.
I've done my DS-160, paid the fees, and scheduled my visa interview. Which documents should I prepare ahead of the interview?
Well, actually, the only required documents are the SEVIS receipt and the I-20 form. Things like the transcript, English language exam scores, and scholarship award letters are not required, but it's good to have them just in case the consular officer asks for them. If you have family in the US, it might help to bring proof of legal status. For example, if you have a sibling who's also studying in the United States, you could bring a copy of their I-20 form. You may bring other documents if they help the consular officer understand your specific circumstances. Do not bring false documents, as it may prevent you from getting a student visa and hurt any future applications as well.
What should I do to prepare for the interview?
Well, when we interview student visa applicants, we look at several factors. First, are you a credible student? Second, do you have the financial means to complete your program? And third, are you going to leave the US after you finish your program? You should prepare by being ready to answer the questions of the consular officer in English or Vietnamese related to these main factors. To prepare for the interview, take time to learn about your program, and you might want to even practice answering questions with your family, friends, and classmates.
So people want to know, what makes a student visa applicant credible?
The interview is your time to shine. Help the consular officer understand the reasons why you chose your program and why you're hoping to study in the United States. If you tell the truth and are clearly motivated to be a student, then you'll be a more credible applicant for the consular officer. If you intend to use the visa to immigrate to the US instead of completing your studies, this is not the right visa for you.
Hunter, can you help clarify this? Does telling the officer that I have relatives in the United States mean that I won't get a visa?
Not at all. That's actually a myth. We know that many of our student visa applicants have relatives in the US, and it's normal that some of you would want to study near your relatives. What hurts your chances of getting a visa is when you don't tell the truth about your relatives in the US.
Does applying for a community college hurt my chances of getting a visa?
No. In fact, 25% of all Vietnamese students in the US actually attend community colleges. Community colleges are affordable and offer quality education. What matters are the factors I mentioned before: your academic motivation, finances, and intent to leave after finishing your studies. Many community colleges offer English language courses and the option to transfer to four-year colleges. This is known as the 2+2 program. If this is your plan, then you should tell the consular officer that in your interview.
If the consular officer decides that I'm not qualified for a student visa after my interview, can I reapply again in the future?
A prior refusal does not make you ineligible to receive a student visa in the future. If you reapply, a different consular officer will interview you and review your case. The SEVIS fee is valid for 1 year, but you will need to pay a new MRV fee, for each interview.
Hunter, am I allowed to work while studying in the United States?
In certain cases, yes. For example, students on F1 visas are allowed to work at their school for up to 20 hours per week. And many F1 students participate in the Optional Practical Training Program, or the OPT, which allows them to work in the US. I recommend that students talk to their school advisors in the US to make sure that they're following the rules once they're in the US. Be careful though. If you're working illegally in the US, you could have your visa revoked or be unable to return to the US in the future.
So here's our last question. Do you have any final tips for student visa applicants?
Absolutely. 2 things. First, consider completing your application on your own, not just to save money, but to ensure that all the information is correct on your DS-160. I know that almost all of our student visa applicants from Vietnam have the ability to complete the DS-160 themselves. And now there's even a handy guide in Vietnamese on YouTube to help. Second, be honest. You don't need to lie in order to qualify for a student visa. Just take a deep breath, describe your academic and professional ambitions, and answer all of the consular officer's questions truthfully.
So thanks again for your time today, Hunter.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bintu. It's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure having you. As a reminder, everyone can find the DS-160 video guide Hunter mentioned on the U.S. Consulate General Ho Chi Minh City's YouTube page. See you next time.